This presentation will look at offsetting points cross-line to the nearest polyline in a vector layer using QuickMap. In version 2011.2 of GPSeismic, a feature was added to QuickMap to allow the user to quickly offset points to the nearest polyline of a vector layer. The vector layer can be a shape, DXF, DWG, or DGN file. This capability can be extremely useful in moving preplots to existing cut lines or roads. All that is required is a file of your preplots and a vector file of polylines which represent the linear object you wish to move your points to. Let's look at an actual example. You first open your preplot file in QuickMap. Next, you open your vector file using the load item of the image menu. You might note that if you open more than one vector layer, it is the topmost layer that is used in the utility. Let's zoom in and then discuss an important requirement. In order to move our points cross-line from their present location, we will need to enter the reference azimuth into the text box in the status bar. We could simply enter this value, or we can determine the azimuth of our lines by displaying a point while pressing the Home key, then displaying another point on the same line while pressing the N key. This action displays the grid azimuth dialog. Pressing the inline button will insert the bearing into the text box in the status bar. Now a reference azimuth is established for cross-line movement. Our next step is to lasso all points we want to move. We lasso by first double-clicking, then single-clicking for each leg of the encompassing polygon. Before closing the polygon, we right-click to get a list of all possible actions. For offsetting to a line, we choose Offset to Polyline Crossline. Next, we specify a maximum cross-line distance that can be searched to find the nearest polyline. And if the vector file was a shapefile, we can specify the field of the underlying database to use for the descriptor of all points moved. If you cancel here, the existing descriptor is left in place. All points are now moved cross-line to the nearest polyline and turned to hit points. At this time, we could output all hit points to a file, or we could elect to convert all hit points to primary and output the entire set of preplots to a file.